What's up, everybody? It's your man Kurt, Triad Hip Hop Podcast. Just doing a quick video. It's the end of Hip Hop History Month. Today is the last day, so before the month is over, I just wanted to do a quick video and kind of pay some homage to someone who has become a big part of hip hop history, and that is Clive Campbell. As I was saying, Clive Campbell, aka DJ Kool Herc, he is a major figure in hip hop history. DJ Kool Herc is considered the father of hip hop, or some say the godfather of hip hop. Some even say the creator of hip hop. But I look at it in a different approach. Now, when you talk about hip hop as a culture, you know, there was a lot of stuff that was going on way before Kool Herc even got on the scene. You know, a lot of the stuff like breakdancing and things like that were going on. Rapping, you know, you can take rapping back to the 50s and even before that. You know what I mean? You can take some breakdancing moves like the moonwalk all the way back to like the 50s or even earlier than that. You know what I mean? It's just that you start seeing official recordings of stuff like that around the 50s and 60s. So, but Clive, you know, DJ Kool Herc, he basically, you know, I think what he did for the culture is he took everything and kind of packaged it. You know what I mean? He put lightning in a bottle, and you know, now we have an official culture that we know as hip hop. You know what I mean? Now, DJ Kool Herc, you know, he was born in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, and you know, he moved over here to the States, and you know, he started learning about American culture and things like that, and that's how he got into DJing. And he also, in the beginning, he was running with a graffiti crew, so you know, he got into graffiti as well. But he was more known for his DJing, and he got started because, you know, they were trying to raise some money for because the summer was almost over, and so they were like, you know, we need to raise some money for some school clothes and supplies and things like that. I think it was his mother or someone like that told him, you know, it was a good thing to do. So he threw the party at his address, which is 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx, and that's where basically that became the home of hip hop. You know, not that everything started at that point, but that's when everything started to come together as a collective. You know what I mean? And so, you know, like I said, he was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and he came over here. Now, one thing I can say about people from Jamaica, from the islands, from any of the islands, they know music. And so he was able to use his cultural background to kind of help, you know, bring hip hop to the forefront. You know what I mean? He threw his first party, you know, and I mean, like I said, it was at 1520 Sedgwick Ave, which is his infamous address, or I shouldn't say infamous, famous address, which now we call that the birthplace of hip hop. It's kind of like a ground zero, if you will. But you know, he began to throw those types of parties more often since it worked out. You know what I mean? And so he became famous for that. And because he was a DJ, he also had to know how to kind of rock the crowd, keep the music going, and keep everybody hype. You know what I mean? So the thing about it, you know, that first big party was August 11th, 1973. So this became what we know now as the birthday of hip hop, and it's only because I think that was like his first party or first jam. They call it the back to school jam. You know what I mean? And so New York became famous for doing what they call jams, or even block parties. You know what I mean? So a jam, you know, anytime you heard about a jam in your neighborhood, it was like you had to be there. You know, I know coming from New York, you know, that was always the highlight, you know, of the summer. You would hear about a jam and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you go listen to music, have a good time. You know, you see people dancing, all kinds of stuff, man. It was always great. So anyway, and, you know, I took, you know, I made myself some notes. So I want to make sure I kind of give my man Kool Herc his props, officially, because, he is a big reason for hip hop as a culture. He didn't officially start it, in my opinion, but he kind of helped, like I said, put it in this nice, neat little package with a bow. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the importance of the DJ in general. So, of course, they gotta play music. You know what I mean? They got to be able to rock the crowd. Y'all may not use that terminology we use, but rock the crowd was one of the terms that we use, meaning like you kept the crowd moving, you kept the crowd happy, you made sure everybody was, not standing still. If too many people are standing still, you're not doing your job as the DJ. So that's how you know. And so, he had to be able to pick the right music. He had to pick music that was good for dancing in general. You know what I mean? So you can do whatever little dance, whether it was the WAP at that time, all those little two-step dances and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Then he also had to pick good music that was good for the what they call the break dancers. People who had the more acrobatic style of dancing. Now that took some skill right there, because when you're dealing with break dancers, you have to use what they call a break beat. That's where the term break dancers came from, because the DJ would take a song, like let's say a James Brown song, and they would take the part of the song called the beat break, where basically, you don't hear none of the other instruments, you don't hear the guitar, you don't hear the piano, you just hear the drum. And it's a moment in the song for the drummer to really just, get his part going. So, you might hear it, and all of a sudden the break beat comes. And that's just a moment for that drummer to get his shine. And, that's why you hear a lot of songs like James Brown. He had the funky drummer, you know what I mean? Give the drummer some, all that kind of stuff. So basically, people like Kool Herc would take that break beat, and instead of that being the only time you heard it, they would just keep looping it on their turntables. You know what I mean? They would have it on 2 turntables and keep going back and forth through each of the turntables, so that you can keep hearing that break for a moment, so that you can have plenty of time to really get your dance on if you were a break dancer and really show your skills. And then also that helped to incorporate the MC. Now, at one time, the DJ was kind of the first MC, if you will, because the DJ couldn't just play the music. You know what I mean? They had to also talk to the crowd, get the crowd hyped, you know what I mean? Do that, throw your hands in the air, blah, 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 that type of stuff. Get the crowd on their rah-rah, you know what I mean? And so eventually it got to the point where somebody stepped in as the MC, so that the DJ didn't have to do as much on that part. They had to compartmentalize. You got your MC over here who can speak to the crowd, maybe spit some raps or whatever. And then you got the DJ who's in the back, really just making sure you can dance to the music and get hyped that way. So, you got to have the DJ for the good dance music. In general, you got to have that break dance music. You got to have something good for the MC to rap over. And you got to have good music for good energy in general. You know what I mean? So, anyway, but, back in the day, the DJ was so important that, when rap became more of a mainstream thing and started getting more on the radio and stuff like that, rappers would always make sure that they highlighted the DJ. In fact, pretty much at least, I would say 50% of their music spent time highlighting the DJ. If you had a full album, there had to be at least one song dedicated just to the DJ, where you would rap about the DJ and give him props, and you would give him, some time in the music where he can scratch and cut, do those break beats and things like that. So, you go back to groups like Eric B. and Rakim. They had songs specifically for the DJ. Eric B. is President. Big Daddy Kane had his DJ, Mr. C. He had a song called Mr. C's Master Plan. So forth and so on. They all had that where they had to give the DJ the shine. You go all the way back to Run DMC. Curtis Blow, they always had to make sure that the DJ got their moment, because without the DJ, they'd pretty much be nothing. You know what I mean? So Curtis Blow had his DJ, AJ Scratch. You know what I mean? So he had a song dedicated just to him. A lot of old heads might know that song. Run DMC, they always gave Jam Master Jay his shine. So anyway, we got to give my man Kool Herc some shine. He's still alive to this day, doing his thing. Not sure where he resides at, but he's still alive and well. And, as we know, the monument is still in your face. 1520 Sedgwick Ave, to give you that, home of hip hop feeling. So if you're ever in New York, you should visit that location, as well as so many other historical monuments in New York. Of course, we're building the Hip Hop Museum in Uptown New York as well, so that's going to be coming in the next couple of years. I'm excited about that. But I think that we should have a Hip Hop Hall of Fame, just like they have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And people like Kool Herc, the Cold Crush Brothers, all of those types, Grandmaster Flash, Grandmaster Flowers, Grand Wizard Theodore, all those people should be in there getting their just due. You know what I mean? I don't know why we don't have that already, but if they can have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we can have the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. So again, just wanted to take a moment to give my man DJ Kool Herc some flowers, and just remind y'all how important he is to the culture. So please check out, they got documentaries on like YouTube where you can learn more about Kool Herc and his contribution to hip hop. You know what I mean? He came up with what they call the merry-go-round technique on the turntables. Like I said, when you looping back and forth from, let's say, breakbeat to breakbeat, just so you can keep a certain part of the song going. And you had your little crossfader in the middle. You had the turntable, crossfader, turntable, mixer, all that good stuff. So, DJing is a very highly skilled art, and it takes a lot to do that. So y'all should go check out my man Kool Herc. He's still alive doing his thing, and we need stuff like that. We need people like that to keep furthering the culture, so that we can keep hip hop going. You know what I mean? So, like I said, preserve the culture. This is your culture, and let's keep doing it. You know what I mean? So happy Hip Hop History Month, and tomorrow is the 1st of December, so we'll be doing some more stuff. You know what I mean? As we always do. We should have a lyrical breakdown coming for you, so be on the lookout for that. All right, for Try It Hip Hop Podcast, this is your man Kurt, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.